everybody. Welcome to Better Than Yesterday. It is Thursday, and we're going to get started. Some of the ladies are coming in, and that's okay with me. And so we just want to go ahead and get started. We're on Proverbs 13, which is on page 105, and it is beauty, brains, and favor. I absolutely loved this. I probably have read it. Hey, Lady Kemp, I probably have already read it, I think about 6 times. And so, hey, ladies, how y'all doing? And so I'm excited about this one. And so we're going to go ahead and get started. I'm going to ask Mona, since she just came in. Oh, you just looking at me?
Yeah.
Oh. I thought you was like trying to get my attention. No. So I'm going to ask Mona if she would go ahead and open us up in prayer. Proverbs 13, beauty, brains, and favor. I also want to welcome you guys to come on in and talk. This one may come off as a little long, but this is a very good chapter. It's actually not as long as we've read some that were actually longer. And so, hey, Bridge. Hey, sis, I can't wait till you're here next week. But this one is really good, and I'm just glad. I love the fact that our the one and only Lady Kemp, who is the author of this book, Better Than Yesterday, she cares so much about us, and she asked to consider us not reading it, but we're a group who actually does enjoy reading it together. And so we just have found that the Holy Spirit really just meets us here and blesses us in reading it. So we're going to go ahead and get started. The great woman of God, Miss Jennifer, has just entered the building, and our phenomenal recorder tonight. She's going to be helping us. So if you would go ahead and open up in prayer for us, I would be so happy.
Dear Heavenly Father, thank you, Lord, for these wonderful ladies, Heavenly Father. Lord, I pray that we all learn something together, Heavenly Father. And I'm so happy that Lady Kemp was able to join us tonight, Heavenly Father.
Thank you,
Lord. And I pray that each and every one of us share our truths and have fun and enjoy the Lord together. In the name of Jesus, I pray. Amen.
Amen. Amen. Proverbs 13, beauty, brains, and favor. I believe I qualify. I think I qualify for this, y'all. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and open up. We're on page 105 for those of you following along in your books. And just know that this book is not only available on Amazon, you can also find it in your local Barnes and Noble, even here in the great city of Oxnard, California. And I also have the book. I also own the book on my Apple phone as well as my iPad. So I'm able to read on the go. I love that. Amen. So I'm going to go ahead and do the opener. Y'all all right with this? Yeah. Can I do it? Y'all know I like to do it. I just think that Lady Kemp is just, her openers are just the best to me.
This one's really good too.
It is so, this whole chapter is so good. I think I read it, I promise you, I probably read it about 7 or 8 times.
Wow. I'm going to look at this,
Okay. All right. So, while you're talking about glasses, let me switch mine. This is what happens when you turn 50, y'all.
You gotta make some preparation.
Hey, but it's all good because I'm still cute. Glory to God. All right. So, beauty, brains, and favor. Proverbs 13, page 105, and it reads, "There comes a time in our lives when God tests us to see if we're willing to do what He asks." I'm in that season right now. Okay? Our obedience is the gateway to His favor. It doesn't matter who we are, where we're from, or our social or educational status. It doesn't matter how much money we make. None of these determine our levels of blessings. Thank you, Lord, per se. It is by our obedience and God's unfathomable grace that we are tremendously blessed. All right. I'll take 2 paragraphs and we'll read. Go ahead.
You may remember Esther from the Bible. I admire Esther because the grace and favor in her life were extraordinarily evident. Her obedience to God led to many blessings. Queen Esther was born a Jew named Hadassah. Her uncle Mordecai raised her and would later become her informant and teacher. In the first chapter of the book of Esther, the king, Ahasuerus hosted a grand party during the Purim holiday. On the seventh day, he called for his wife, Queen Vashti, to show off her beauty. She refused. Enraged by her refusal, the king took away her title as queen. Today, we would say he divorced her. The Bible tells us the king made this decision because of Vashti's disobedience and disrespect. You don't tell the king no. This behavior sent a negative message to the other women who were looking on. After the dismissal, the king immediately began his search for a new queen. He sent a decree throughout the land and asked that all the virgins be gathered. Esther was a virgin, but she had no desire to be a part of this process. However, her uncle Mordecai gave her instructions to follow the king's request and remain quiet. Out of obedience, she did just that. Esther had not yet showed her kindred nor her people, as Mordecai had charged her. For Esther did the commandment of Mordecai, like as when she was brought up with him.
Esther respected Mordecai and trusted his direction. She was named queen and would later intercede on behalf of the Jewish people of the kingdom to save their lives. What a wonderful purpose. What did God see in Esther? She had a genuine heart and an obedient spirit. She remained true to what she had been taught, and she was obedient to Mordecai. She believed he knew what was best for her. Esther didn't succumb to superficiality. That's what I love about her. Can you imagine the level of competition? It was one special lady's opportunity to be queen. Esther wasn't even competing. Think about it. There are times you feel the need to compete. If so, why? You don't have to fight for what's already yours when there's favor in your life. Esther knew where she came from, having nothing. Yet she knew to whom she belonged. She wasn't caught up in the glory of becoming royal, position, status, or she focused on the glamour and tend to get caught up in wanting all eyes on them. Some need the attention in order to but are you? Probably not. And you do not please God either. Our mission should be to please God first.
Amen. When purpose and destiny are calling you to a higher place, there's no time to be caught up in trying to get attention and seeking accolades. There's work to do, and it takes time. Esther had to go through to get where she was. It didn't come overnight. So it is with you. You can't get to the top overnight. Ooh, say that again. You can't get to the top overnight. Let God do it. Take your time or risk God giving someone else your turn. Ooh, until you're ready. I like that she put that part in there. Are you ready? Wait for it. Don't faint. Wait to be processed by God. Allow the power of the Holy Ghost to shape and mold you. See, it's one thing to have beauty, but we need wisdom as well. Wisdom is the principal thing. We need brains for discernment. For 1 year, Esther was made to go through a purification process, a cleansing. To be great in God, there is a process you will go through. It's inevitable. However, if you remain obedient to God, there is a blessing just for you on the other side of your obedience. Thank you, Lord. Obedience is submission to God. If you let it, the very thing that tries to rob you of your life's desire can bless you. Yes, I like that.
At some point in our lives, God will allow situations to enter our world to teach us, make us think, mature us, and break us so we can have compassion for others. He will also do so to show us how to handle the flesh under pressure and to push us forward. The book of Romans reassures us. All things work together for the good of those who love God and are called according to his purpose. Romans 8:28. The enemy works works hard to interweave and knit dark thread through our lives. He mingles with important facets of our lives and works to complicate our deliverance. Through his weaving, he even attempts to incorporate patterns to try and throw us off our spiritual path. Thank God our God is bigger. It's cliche, but it's the truth. What the devil means for bad, God grabs, molds, and turns it around. He takes the good, the bad, and the painful and shapes it for our good. That's a beautiful thing. The very thing that brought you pain, the setup that was meant to destroy you, was promotion. It was a blessing in disguise. Think about it. It's working for your good.
Thank you, Lord. Look at Esther's life. Promotion. God reveals his purpose through Esther's life. He worked through one obedient young woman to save the Jewish people from total annihilation and the hands of a forceful and powerful leader. Esther was beautiful, but she also had brains, beauty behind the beauty. She worked her faith. Esther appeared before the king on behalf of her people. I imagine her standing strong and proud. In my mind, I see her gazing into the king's eyes, intimidating as he was capturing his heart and finding his favor. The king granted her rights and access to the kingdom. She was crowned queen. The hand of God was in her life. The king did not just see her beauty, he also saw the confidence behind it. Imagine Esther in your spiritual mind. She didn't flinch and tremble when she stood before the king. She was a confident woman in the presence, although she was doing what had never been done before. She was unwaveringly confident in her God. She went before the king as an intercessor in efforts to save her people, the Jews, from being slain. It was against the law to appear before the king without permission. The penalty was death. She was prepared. Using her brain, she spoke with wisdom and authority, giving her people instructions. Go, gather all the Jews who are present in Shushan, and fast for me. Neither eat nor drink for 3 days, night or day. My maids and I will fast likewise, and I will go to the king, which is against the law, and I will perish. I will perish. Esther 4:16. Go ahead and read the version.
It appeared that Esther was on the verge of losing her life, but the favor of God stood with her. She was filled with determination. Before approaching the king, she asked the woman to fast for her. She asked for support. Ladies, know the people who you are part of your supporting cast.
That's deep.
Yes, it is. Yes, you're supporting cast.
Are their lifestyles holy? Do they live with purpose and power? Ooh. That gave me the chills.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Right?
Yeah.
Discernment is essential on your journey to success. Bear in mind that everybody is not praying for your good. Rather, some are praying on you.
Sis is praying. P-R-E.
Right? Everybody's not excited about your success. Everybody does not wish you well. Although they may say or act like they do, some are not concerned about your victory. Not everyone has your best interests at heart. Look and take notice of the fruit people bear. Take heed. As my pastor teaches the congregation, you can't let everybody sit on the front row of your life.
I like that one. I read that one. Yeah, and I like that.
Wow. Some people must reside in the balcony. It's okay to recognize that and act accordingly.
My girlfriend Claudette once told me, oh wait, did you read? Oh, did I jump in front of you?
Go.
No, you're good.
Oh, good. That's okay. My apologies. My girlfriend Claudette once told me, you have to know where to file people. You have to know where to file people. Are they supporters, takers, associates, friends, sisters, or friendly enemies? It's important to know who the people in your life are and be real about it. Accept the truth, as hard as it might be. It's hurtful, I know, but it's okay. The handmaids who prayed and fasted for Esther gave her strength to get the job done. That's key right there. Beauty, brains, and favor. When the king saw Esther standing in the court, she obtained favor in his sight. He extended his golden scepter to her. Without this gesture from the king, she would have died. However, at that moment, with faith, she touched the top of the scepter and made a connection with the king. I can see it. The connection she made with him was in the spiritual realm.
Yes.
Then the king said to her, "What wilt thou, Queen Esther? And what is thy request? It shall be even thee to the half of the kingdom." Esther 5:3. Esther is a powerful book, y'all. Somebody going to finish that off.
Look at the favor of God. What is your request? What can I do for you? Name it. The king couldn't deny Esther because she walked in the presence of God. Confidently, God's glory walked before her. She walked in authority, wrapped in the Holy Ghost. At times in our lives, situations may appear bleak. Facts may impede on our faith. Nevertheless, stand still and wait for God to work. There are blessings when we choose to be obedient. The Lord places us in positions to be used for his specific purposes. Esther's beauty and brains obtained favor from God.
Wow. One of y'all, you want to read the words of life, which is the prayer. So, yeah, go ahead.
You may read it. Father, I thank you that favor surrounds me like a shield, and I am the apple of your eye.
Yes.
I will continue to walk in the spirit of obedience and hold fast to the principles of your word. Father, I realize it is through obedience that you favor me, and I am made beautiful by you. I thank you for long life and godly wisdom. I will use that wisdom to teach and encourage others. I thank you for I am made royal through you. Humbly I come before you in submission. I embrace change, confident that you know what is best for my life.
All right. See, that wasn't that long. That was a long time. Yeah. Beauty, brains, and favor. So I would like for us to decipher this, and of course, if anybody has anything that they want to say, add, or question, please feel free. Our recorder, she's gonna be kind of side-eye watching for me, right? And so, thank you so much, love. So yeah, let's decipher that: beauty, brains, and favor. And every time I read that, every time I thought about it this past couple weeks, I just kept thinking, I qualify for that. I'm beautiful. I'm smart. And because of God, I definitely have favor.
Amen.
No matter what it looks like. No matter my hair flat today because it's been raining all week. But you know what? In his eyes, I'm beautiful, y'all. Like, how do you feel about that? Beauty, brains, and favor.
Well, you know what? I heard something today with Pastor Raul Reese. And I love how he defined beauty because, beauty on the outside for me is a lot having to do with the world, because the world sees us on the outside and that's how they determine beauty. But he said, beauty is how the Lord sees the church. Because as we're getting prepared to be his bride, we're getting ourselves beautified in the inside. But see, that beauty illuminates out of us, because his glory starts to shine out of us. And I was like, no, I like that.
It actually is,
Not that I'm saying that, that yes, we all have beauty in us. But I think that what brings that light out of somebody is when you see the glory of God in them, because you can see Christ in them, So that's what touched me today with beauty,
Ladies?
I agree. I think pretty is what you say on the outside when it looks good, but beautiful, that speaks to something on the inside. That radiates out.
So, like, the comparison of pretty and beautiful.
Yeah.
Yes. I like it.
You can be pretty, but be an ugly person. You know, and they just like, woo, right? I wouldn't describe you as beautiful. She's pretty, but.
I'm glad you brought that up because it actually helps to explain that what she said, that we make ourselves pretty, but beauty. Well, you remember the cliche when you were young, my mother used to say this. Well, beauty is skin deep, but ugly go to the bones. Y'all ain't never heard that? My mother used to say that. Well, beauty is only skin deep, but ugly goes to the bone. So the thing is what comes out of us, I would want it to be beauty. And we know that in the natural sense, what we see first is what is alluring. You know, especially like, well, I can't even say, I was just gonna put it off on men, but my eyeballs work the same way, and when I see things that are alluring to me or that bring me into what I feel is attractive, because attractive doesn't mean beautiful.
That's true.
So that's why I like how you guys have started that definition, that it's beauty isn't pretty, beauty isn't even attractive. Beauty goes deeper than that, because beauty does exude from behavior, character, heart. Yes. So beauty, what does that mean to you, Mona?
And to me, it's your heart. That you care. It's, I don't know. When you meet somebody, I go, oh my gosh, this person is so beautiful because they carry this and you just know it.
And it's not just about what we see. I just like it. I think it's the way she did it, and it made me think of it. Because you go, and even when you think brains, what does that mean? Like, what does that mean to you? Brains to me, yes, it does mean I'm smart, but I love the fact that she hones in on and makes the key part of it obedience. And see, it takes brains to walk in obedience. See, because it's easy for me. I'm smart, y'all. I'm like really smart. I am. And I used to be ashamed of being smart, because smart people get labeled, and you're not real popular when you like smart. But but obedience, and it's my prayer. I always ask God, help me. When I ask for something, I always say, God, and when you reveal it to me, give me a spirit of obedience to follow after what you said. Because sometimes, just like what I see in the mirror may not line up with what's really in my heart. Just because I know stuff doesn't mean I'm willing to do it. I know what's right sometimes.
She didn't complain. She listened. She was obedient to Mordecai.
And Mordecai was the task before Esther wasn't easy. It wasn't. Well, it wasn't that man.
Like, you coming?
Yeah.
I can do it by myself. I'm independent. I can do it by myself.
And what Mordecai was asking her, through what God was instructing her to do, this was a big thing. You're asking me to be the representation for people, not Father God. What?
She was obedient. That was the main thing.
You know,
She listened and she was obedient.
God will call you into things. The Lord He will have a command on your life. He's saying, I put you in this position. I called you to this, and you will stand. This woman went before the king. Do you know that the queen got moved out the way? What? He will move mountains to put you in place so that you can do what he called you, ordained you to do. Because you could be like, well, how could I be queen? It's already a queen. And God's like, that's not her job. I called you. And what did Mordecai say? He put it so well, for such a time as this. Meaning, she had her time. Done. And her act of disrespect, which I wrote, disrespect equates to disobedience equates to disrespect. So I have to think about that. When the Lord, help me, Jesus. When the Lord asks me or calls us to do something, please, God, help me to walk in obedience. Because disobedience is disrespect. Disrespecting the king, the one who has authority. I told you how to do something. I made it very clear. But then the paradigm shifts, because when the right person is in place with the right spirit, when beauty is exuding from that person, and see, when you know that you're beautiful, and I don't mean, but it's even if you take it and put it in a natural sense, when you know you snatched and put together, they can't tell. You just saw somebody and you looking at them like that don't even match, but in their mind, you can't tell them anything. They know they together. They done put this on. You can tell by the way they walk, how their head is up, and you walk in with a sense of air. Like, I know this is right. Look at me. You know you've seen it. I've been
But she went correct with him because, because she had them fast. She fasted. And she was obedient. She had it all together before she even stepped into the court where he's at. She had her stuff together. Because some people show up and do stuff. Don't get it together. And they get up there and then people misunderstand and they think something else instead of getting the message. So she had it together.
That's a very good point.
But see, what would be what changes that is because she listened to somebody that had instructed her.
Right.
Yeah.
So see, Mordecai was like, listen to me. And she listened, and plus Mordecai had obviously shown himself to be faithful, someone she could listen to, even when asked to do something that really was challenging. This was gonna cause her to step outside of her box. You asked me, wait a minute, the last queen. I remember what happened to the last queen, but it didn't matter. It didn't matter. She had been, and I love that. I'm glad that you brought up fasting, because for a lot of people right now, a lot of people in this season of fasting and doing all these formalities, and I ain't mad at it, but I like this because fasting is supposed to be with purpose.
Yeah.
Purpose, and the purpose is never self-fulfilling. The purpose is always God-driven. Our job is to let His will be done on earth that was also done in heaven.
Amen.
That's my job.
Yes.
And so when I go, she knew she was getting ready to do something, because it could be the last day if she stepped in front of that king. Not right. But you got to be willing to step out on faith. I think we've been talking about it a lot, because our faith without works, it's DEAD, dead. I can talk about it, you can counsel me on it all day, but today y'all don't even know. Somebody else talk.
And you think about it, how many of us are obedient when our husband or asks us to do something? We're like, yes, we do this. I know it's different, but I'm just saying.
No, I mean,
No, I read that when I read.
And I was like,
When I read that she had an obedient spirit.
Yeah.
I don't have that because everything gets filtered through my own desires. Wait, let me think about how this impacts me. Am I willing to do this to this extent? That I just, so my prayer is, God, please help me to have an obedience. I have obedient moments, but I don't think my overall being is obedient, and that's something that I really have to work on. Just thinking about what you were saying earlier, what Esther, that God is actually positioning us and trusting us, because in those times where we're not being obedient, it's not about that moment usually. It's about something so much bigger. So to think if she were to be in her feelings, she would have missed that He was setting you up to save an entire people. Your people. It is not about this moment and about your thoughts and feelings about how do you feel about leaving the house and going to the king. And it's not about you. Get out of yourself and out of your feelings and just
focus on where I'm taking you. Trust me.
Yeah.
Trust me. We get so caught up in moments and just like,
It's true.
man, I don't
It's
think
true.
I can do this in this moment, but it is God, just thinking about God doing something with us. Like, it's so amazing what she said on one of these pages when she was talking about how God is preparing us. Did y'all read that part on here? Let me see where it's at. That God is
What page?
preparing us at 107.
Okay, so page 107. What
Kind of at the end,
Okay,
like the second to the last paragraph,
okay.
where she's talking